Aged brick. Cracking walls. There are far more stories than bricks of those who spent time within these walls. When this banquet hall was built in the 1960s, neighbors had plenty of stories to share. From early on, this hall, with the 60-apartment complex here on Parkdale and Melvin in East Hamilton, was home for many tenants. Back in its glory days, this now run-down banquet hall was an important landmark in the neighborhood, holding special events like weddings, community celebrations, and family gatherings. In the last 20 years, the banquet business dried up, and only the bar remained. The building became home to the homeless and desperate. These new tenants set up their life within the 60 apartments in the most unpleasant atmosphere. For one of its tenants, his story must be heard to fully grasp the circumstances lived out in this building.
It started several years ago for me. All the places I lived in took my whole check. And all the motels that I lived in, there was no real service. So I bounced around for all of them in Hamilton. Today, those same ones are like $1,300 a month. And I don't make that. I can't afford to do anything like that. And I came over here and I met one of the gentlemen that worked here, and he told me that there were a couple of rooms available, and it was $500 a month. I could pay the $500, and I had money in my wallet. I didn't have to use the food bank constantly, though I had used the food bank. So that's why I picked the cheapest place I could find, and that was this place. But it was run down. It was just terrible. They brought me to the room that I stayed for 4.5 years. It looked clean because they did a quick cleanup job, but they told me there were cockroaches in here. And I'm thinking there's a few cockroaches. There were thousands and thousands of cockroaches all over the place. Yeah, they were falling off the ceiling. They were on the walls. They were in the refrigerator. We had heating problems in here. We had no heat in the wintertime. You could see your breath at nighttime. You know, you're watching TV or something like that. Your breath, you could see it. That's how cold it was. We had water problems. I had no water for, I think it was 10 days with no water, hot water. We had cold water, but there was no hot water. There was a lot of crime in the building. There was stealing, there was fights. There were terrible fights. There was blood on the hallways. Yeah, a lot of stealing. You'd leave your room, the door was opened up by somebody. And whatever you had in your room was gone. We didn't have security after 8 o'clock at night. So the whole place was a party house. A lot of drugs and alcohol. You'd get screaming at nighttime. You'd get kicking on walls. You get kicking on your door. You're wondering if tonight's the night you're going to get punched out by somebody because you're not helping them the way they wanted you to help them. This is the way I got to live for probably the rest of my life. You know, sad to say, there's nothing out there. Everything is sky high. You can't find these places anymore. And if you do find a room that's $400 or $500, you're going into hell in the end. They're gonna be nice to you in the beginning, and then you're gonna find out it's the same everywhere. It's all the same.
When a local city councilor floated the idea of transforming this building into supported affordable housing, we were intrigued. With over 500 completed housing applications on hand, we need to find solutions. When we were awarded government funding for half the redevelopment costs, we were able to move forward quickly and acquire this building. Indwell purchased this property in the fall of 2016. 18 of those 60 apartments were still occupied. We were thankful to be able to help each of the tenants find new homes in preparation for construction. Our team will renovate this building to breathe fresh life into what will be 60 newly renovated apartments. While the footprint will remain the same for some of the new apartments, they'll be completely transformed with new floors, windows, upgraded bathrooms, and proper kitchens. There is tremendous potential in this dark space. This will become a new community food center with clean and commercial spaces, providing access to nutritious meals. Elevators will provide accessibility for the new tenants. We see tremendous value in this neglected building to not only provide supported affordable housing, but also to nurture community. All of this is how we continue to build hope and homes. Here is Indwell's Executive Director, Jeff Nevin.
People are experiencing this reality across our cities and province. We're here to come alongside and create a new reality. But we can't do this alone. We need your help.